I was wrong about Demon Slayer in my last video. This anime is better than I thought. Here's why. Just to be clear, I love Demon Slayer. It's a really good anime. The fantastic use of 3D, the breathtaking animations, cheesy joke, I know, some truly beautiful scenarios. But honestly, I don't think that is all Demon Slayer is about. One mistake I made was to think that Demon Slayer is just some eye candy anime, with no deeper plot. Those episodic shonen that kinda move forward with the story, but you are watching that for the action and iconic and quirky characters. But this is not true, especially with the later seasons, and I am here to explain myself and take back a lot of what I said about Demon Slayer, that I was watching with the wrong perspective. This is weird to say, but Demon Slayer Season 1 reminds me a lot of Attack on Titan Season 1. Not in terms of animation, music or story, but what the season delivered. Season 1 of Attack on Titan gives us the events that started, some points that we know so far, some mysteries and a lot of loose strings about our characters and the world. Not a bad season and not a bad anime, but things only start to become more enjoyable and interesting when the second season happened. I swear this video is about Demon Slayer, hold on a little more. Season 2 of Attack on Titan wasn't that action focused, instead it was more about discovering the truth, solving some mysteries and telling us more about the characters and world. And by characters I mean both the quote-unquote heroes and quote-unquote villains. We got to see this slowly build up that totally paid off, and how these connections that we were making delivers us some great reveals. Demon Slayer is kinda the same. The first season set up not only our protagonists, Tanjiro and Nezuko, but also the world where he lives, this feudal Japan in the 1500s, his enemies, the demons, who we know that Muzan is their leader, but not what his motivations is, his companions Inosuke and Zenitsu and their friendship. But looking a little bit far, the first episodes of Demon Slayer Season 1 feels really episodic, like we are just seeing them kill demons, because that's what they do. That's what the anime is named about. Yes, the fights are really good and some of them quite touching, but it doesn't seem to matter to the bigger goal, to be something that changes the things and moves the plot forward. To be honest, this only started to happen with the post episode 20 or 21, where the Hashira are introduced and suddenly the world grew bigger. We got a clear objective, defeat Muzan and the lower and upper moons, and most importantly, find a way that can possibly revert Nezuko from a demon back to a human. The later seasons only improved this series in my opinion, not in animation or music, but how the story of Demon Slayer evolves the series and makes it more complete. The Swordsmith Village arc is a great example. Every Demon Slayer carries a weapon, and we know that since the first episodes when Tanjiro received his own from Haganezuka. But how they are built? What is this Swordsmith Village that is hidden from everyone? Do every one of them use these weird masks? Yes, they do. We can finally see it. The anime is not only evolving its story by killing demons, but showing us how the world and characters are connected and alive. Remember, things are connected from both sides, I would say. The third season starts not with Tanjiro or the Hashira, but with the demons. We see the upper third realizing that another upper moon died and Muzan summoned them. And just like we see the lower moons in the Infinity Train arc, we now meet the upper moons. However, we didn't dive deep in any of them, but maybe later we will. Just like with the Hashira at the end of the first season. I mean, we are already getting some plot points that the first upper moon was that swordsman that Tanjiro's father met and used the sun breathing technique. The anime is still beating up characters and events at the third season, and I only appreciate that. The plot and world got better with time. It's not the same anime that it was from 2019. Demon Slayer is better than most people who watched the first season and thought, yeah, it was kinda good. It's better than that, believe me. Okay, I was wrong about my statement about the Hashira. They are quite different. Not only each one got different types of weapons, personalities, a breath style and appearance, but looking closer I realized that their stories are not that much related. Different from what I said before, Each one of them has their motivations and goals, and most importantly, a reason to become a Hashira. It's really good. I thought that they were just tools for the plot, but I realized that as I watched it and looking back to the Infinity Train and Entertainment District arc, I can confirm that I was wrong about my take of the Hashira looking the same. They are not. Rengoku was a fierce and a symbol to his brother and all other demon slayers, and Tengen was someone who valued those who he cared the most, to the point where he didn't bother failing his mission if it was for saving someone. And now in the third season we are watching and seeing Muchiro, the Miss Hashira, and Mitsuri, the Love Hashira, getting their characters fleshed out. Thinking more about it, probably the villains from this arc might be more generic, like a villain of the arc kind of a thing, but I will not say that. Even with the last arc, the Entertainment District one, it did give some story to Daki and Gyutaro in the flashbacks. Seeing Tanjiro realize that he and Nezuko could end up just like them, and for that he felt empathy. It was quite touching. I truly like this. This show not only gives you spectacular fights, with some heartbreaking scenes and flashbacks. And speaking of which, do I think Demon Slayer is perfect? No. The good reason why is the absurd use of flashbacks. I swear to God, someone beat dead, like Swiss cheese dead. All it takes is a sad story from his past and boom, he's totally fine. He's somehow stronger and now can fight better than before. It wouldn't bother me if it happened from time to time, but every fight might have one of these, or multiple. Tanjiro's family are saving his life in the afterlife 10 times every time he decides to pick a fight. Again, it's a really good and effective way to tell someone's backstory, why they are fighting for, or give you the thunder bursts of hype to overcome any obstacle, enemy or challenge, but they are overusing too much in my opinion. I also got some other small complaints, like some scenery looks disjointed, but it's scenery, who cares? They use the Demon Slayer motif in the songs too much. This one bothers me the most. It can be a normal scene of two characters talking, and you hear that theme from episode 19 from the first season out of nowhere. I know it's a good song. I rewatched that scene I don't know how many times. Please use different songs. Also would like to point out that the anime is rushed. So many things are not given depth. The show doesn't give you importance to some plot points, like why katanas have different colors when wielded by a demon slayer and what difference that makes. This was not explained yet, it just happens. Why the demon slayer's rank matter? We didn't see how that influenced our characters. For now, the only thing that matters is Hashira and non-Hashira. Maybe to just show how our characters are getting stronger? Perhaps? I also noticed how most characters' flaws are not challenged. Tanjiro's kindness could be a death sentence since he may take pity on a demon that can take advantage of that. But we don't see that being a problem. The anime only challenged the character's core ideals. As example, Rengoku's values of protecting the weak and Tenzin caring for his dearest. So they are put in situations where Rengoku has to protect Tanjiro and civilians and Tenzin has to save his wives. That's why we like them so much, because their greatest strengths are being challenged and they are immutable against it. But these characters' weaknesses, if they have one, are not touched. This may be the reason why I think a lot of characters are simple and not interesting. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's a bad thing as well. Maybe it's just a preference. And finally, although the show tried to say the opposite, Tanjiro is a chosen one type of protagonist, which can be disappointing. Look, the show is not perfect and is extremely flawed, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have something for you to like. I've been enjoying the Swordsmith Village arc, that at the moment I'm writing this is not over yet. However, I will not say it's my favorite arc. Entertainment District would probably take that spot for me. There is something to admire from the Entertainment District arc of how we slowly pieces the things together before the great fight. The show decided to slow down and build this tension. Something really odd for Demon Slayer, that up to that point was just next mission, find demon, kill demon, next mission. You can say that's the same formula for this arc, but I appreciate how the anime decided to give some attention to Tenzei's wives, and maybe that's why I like him that much. He values lives of those he cared the most more than the mission. The Swordsmith Village arc is not that slow, it's really action-packed, but What I truly been enjoying is how this arc complements the world of Demon Slayer. From the swordsmith that I mentioned before to even the returning characters. Inosuke and Zenitsu are not with Tanjiro in this mission. Genya is. But you don't know Genya? It's the guy we saw the first episodes of the first season that also became a Demon Slayer with Tanjiro. This arc makes the world of Demon Slayer feel more alive than any other one. It shows us the importance of them to the audience and why we should care. Well, at least why I care now. One more time, I love Demon Slayer. It's a really good anime. I said that before and I still say it now. The difference is that now I care about it. I became a fan through and through. This arc is showing me that it's not just some eye candy show for those shonen fans who like action and great animation and nothing more, just like I used to think. But I was wrong, it offers more than that. Demon Slayer may not be a deep anime with a lot of layers of thought put into it. Even with the Swordsmith Village arc, I still think the world building is lacking and the anime has a lot of flawed characters. But I'm not watching Demon Slayer for that. I learned to like it for its simplicity.